of this function. Now, before I jump into it, it's not going to look like a quadratic, even though the handout says quadratics. So it's another one of these where we have to make it look like a quadratic with that let u be something. And then I'll substitute and then go from there and hope to get the answer. All right, guys, on this one it says find the zeros. If I just say find the zeros, does that imply find them all? I didn't say find the real zeros, did I? If I said find the real zeros, that says don't consider the I. So like in that last one, we did consider the I. If they say just find the zeros, it says find all of them. Now Monday when I see you, I'll break it down and also start using a word called complex zeros. But right now, I'm going to just jump into it to sort of close this down. Now thought about it. Why not? I'm going to solve this. Oh boy. I see x to the 6th. Let's call this a function. X to the 6th plus 7x cubed. Oh, you guys have done a good job so far on this. Can get crazy on you. X to the 6th plus 7x cubed subtract 8. And looks like I'm saying, as I will say on the exam, it might be wise to let u be something. I'll have that written for you to indicate to you. I don't want you to jump right into it right now. X to the 6th is not a quadratic.
Thank you.
We know what a quadratic looks like. It's not a quadratic. They want you to change it into a quadratic. Now, does anyone have an idea what might you let u be so I can rewrite this, have a quadratic, and then either complete the square, quadratic formula, factor, and finally get my answers? Yes? X cubed, hang on. So you're saying let u be x cubed. Tell the class why you chose that.
Because we have u as an x cubed, we will have u squared plus just...
Okay, hang on now, hang on. You got it. You're saying this x to the 6th, he's being clever. But wait, Professor, x to the 6th, if I wish, could be expressed like this. Now that's not x to the 5th. The property says multiply the two together. It was exponents. Is it x to the 6th? If it is, he says let u be x cubed. And therefore rewrite this as, look at this is u squared. My first term, I'm into a quadratic now already. My second term, 7x cubed, with his replacement, would be 7u. Then subtract 8, and look at that. You've now transformed this into this. You now made it take a quadratic form, which I can now deal with. Guys, I think this one will factor. I don't want to use quadratic formula, unless I have to. If you guys will try u, looks like a plus 8. And check my math out here. Minus 1, is that true? Split this up. At this point, you have u to be a negative 8, u to be a 1. And the u that he suggested, which made this happen for us, u was representing x cubed. So this says x cubed is equal to a negative 8. And x cubed is equal to 1. Is that true? I think everyone in class would know the answer for this one. What number out there, when you cube it, would give you a 1? 1. That's the only number out there. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. That's the answer. Does anyone think they know the number, if there is one out there, that when you cube it, you get a negative 8? Negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. If you watch your signs there, that's going to be a negative 8, so this is negative 2. They say, Professor, I love this form. It looked like this with a 6. We took it down to a 2. We took it into a quadratic. I may have to hold off. Here goes. Can anyone tell me at this point, A and I finished?
No.
That's the reason I placed this on the handout. Can anyone tell me why I'm not finished?
We need to find 4 more x.
Never more. I think I heard it. Why am I not finished?
That's only 2 zeros.
I have only 2 zeros. How many should I get?
6.
6. Oh, we're missing 4. We're missing 4 zeros. We have 2 of them. So let me do this right here. I'll list right now, we got -2, we have a 1, and we're missing 4. That's why I saved this, to do it after the break. Does anyone have an idea how to find the other 4? Wait till you see what they look like. Scary. But there are 4. Does anyone in this clever class think they know how to find the remaining 4 zeros? Go for it.
Replace u to x cube, like the second equation.
You mean down here? Oh, here?
No. U plus 8. And
Oh, down here, up here. Oh, hang on now. Got you. Hang on. He's telling me, Professor, being clever, and that's what you gotta be in math. X cubed is equal to a -8. You guys quickly said, Professor, it's -2. -2 times -2 times -2 is -8, it's -2. He says, but Professor, another way to think of that is, it also means this, if it would help. Are these two actually saying the same thing? Let's move the 8 over. Now, can someone tell me, why might that help me? It was wise to do it, but what might it, looking like this, just move the 8 over, and x cubed plus 8 equals 0, which is valid in algebra. What might I do there now in an attempt to find there's some zeros missing? I want something that you guys have seen. I bet you've forgotten it. I bet you've forgotten it. And I need it to finish this up. Does anyone think they know what is needed at this point? Go for it.
We can rewrite it as x plus 2 in x plus 2.
No. Something better. It's not x plus 2, no. But it's something that you guys have seen, more than likely somewhere in your experience with math, and maybe it was given to you and then you forgot it. Like we all do. Yes?
maybe x minus 2x plus 2x minus 2.
Oh, whoa, we're getting close. So you're thinking maybe I could factor this?
Yeah.
I can. But not into those factors you gave me. It can factor. But it's going to involve something. That's why I saved this for after the break. And before this quiz takes place, I saved this. Let me give you just a little hint on the side and see if this will help you recall. Does anyone recall what can be done if you solve, hang on now, a squared minus b squared? Let me start with this. Can anyone tell me from algebra, what does that look like in general? Factor. Just that. What does that look like? I think you're scared now because I'm scaring you with this. What does a squared minus b squared look like, just in general? What does it look like factored? And we'll factor. What does it look like? There we go.
A plus B, A minus B.
Absolutely. You know that. You know that, don't you? Of course you do. Now if I ask you to factor this, it's called the sum of two cubes. Believe it or not, it factors. But you will not ever know what it factors into. Now, like you knew this one. Not sure you gave this one to me. This one is basic. This one down here is gonna require a formula. To factor the sum of two cubes. Someone may remember. I've had students in the past remember. Most do not. As a student, if I would see where you are right now, I'd probably say, oh, I probably saw it, but I don't know it now. Does anyone think they know? There's like a formula. Go for it.
It's A minus,
Oh. And what?
it's A minus B.
Now we're gonna start with A plus B.
Oh, yeah, A plus B.
Hang on now. Well, looks strange.
A squared.
Oh, hang on.
Minus 2AB
Oh, almost.
plus 2AB. Oh,
No two with it.
oh, just AB
Then what?
plus B squared.
Look at that. Whoa. That is a formula that you have to use if you intend to factor, not the different squares like that first one, but a sum of two cubes, and also there's a formula for a difference of two cubes. This is for a sum of two cubes. Okay, let me look back and see. Okay, hang on. Guys, by the way, in the red, I don't have the time. Susan, Mr. Park, if I should multiply this mess out in the red, use the distributive properties, multiply all that mess out. I would hope to get back to this. You think I would? If not, this is the wrong formula. And I'm just wondering if we're gonna have enough time in the class tonight to multiply that out. Because if I multiply the red out and I don't get that, I can't use it. It's not the formula. Should I multiply it out just for a quick check? Because the formula looks a little strange. I think the formula is correct. I'm gonna check it though. Should I go ahead and do it? Mr. Park, help me out. I would first distribute the A. I'm doing some algebra. I would distribute the A on those three terms. A times. So we end up with A times A squared, that's A cubed. Minus A times AB, A squared B. A times B squared, A B squared. That's the A distributed throughout. Now you gotta distribute the B. B A squared, well that's the same as this, just turned around. Like this, guys. That's this times this. Then B times negative AB, what is that, a negative AB squared? Which is the same as this one. I'll just line them up. This times this. You guys agree so far? And then last times last is B cubed. A positive. I think, step back and look at it. Will these terms cancel? Am I left with this? So has he given me the correct formula? Thank you. Thank you. Now you know how to factor the sum of two cubes. Now, there's also a formula for a difference of two cubes. I'm not going to get into that tonight, I don't think. Ignacio, the reason I did this one, I think I might be able to apply it on this. Now, you've got to be very careful. I'm going to take this right here where we stopped, over here. Being very clever. I mean clever. Let me rewrite that 8 as 2 cubed. Which it is, isn't it? 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8. Does that now look much like this? Does it look much like A cubed plus B cubed? Now, can anyone tell me if the formula is correct in the red, which we checked it is, A plus B in this case would be what to get started here as I factor this?
X plus 2.
X plus 2. Thank you. I know the formula though. This down here says A squared. That would be in my case X squared, isn't it? Subtract what? The product. A times B. What would A times B look like? 2x. The way it looks. And finally, plus B squared on the end. What's B squared? 2 squared, 4. And we'll set that equals 0. That's why I had x cubed plus 8 equals 0. Look at this. X cubed plus 8. I guarantee if I walk out, see you on campus, I doubt if you can give this answer to me. If I say, what's x cubed plus 8 factor? I back down if you say, oh, professor says. Isn't that strange? This mess right here, this is the same as that. X cubed plus 8. Why must I do that? Because I can now split this up and solve it. Oh, this might be a good stopping place here shortly. I can now solve this. By the way, guys, if I solve this one, I get x equals to -2, that factor. By the way, I think we got -2 also earlier, didn't we? So we got it already. This one, though, I will tell you ahead of time, this is so good to end class with this. X squared subtract 2x plus 4 is a quadratic. Should be 2 more answers for it. It won't factor. And I certainly do not, oh, by the way, I've seen some of my students on their exams and quizzes. Some students do that completion of the square, like that, on all the problems. I could complete the square on this. Or use quadratic formula. Guys, I'm going to use quadratic formula tonight. X is equal to -b would be negative and -2. Quadratic formula, plus minus square root b squared, -2 squared. Subtract 4 times 1 times c is 4. Do not let me make a mistake. 2 times a is 1. Did I put the numbers in correctly for the quadratic formula? I used quadratic formula on it. Did I? So let me clean this up. That's x is equal to, of course, a positive 2 out front. Plus minus, watch carefully as we close down tonight. We've done so much good stuff tonight. Underneath there. Can anyone tell me what on earth is underneath for most students, and myself as an instructor sometimes, doing it in haste, will miss? What is underneath there when you simplify that? Now, I think it says 4 subtract 16. -12. Oh my goodness, you guys are blessed. Blessed to see this. And now, this takes me right back to what we were doing earlier. I can't deal with square root -12 unless I do what? Unless I go into the imaginary numbers, the i's. Okay, here we go. So this is x equals, keep it organized, x equals 2 plus minus. Now, can anyone tell me, what do you think square root -12 looks like? And I'll put it on the side here. I know this much. You could think of it like this to start out. And I think before the break we said square root -1 is the what? I. So this is I. Square root 12. 12 is not perfect. At least I can take a square root on it. It's not negative. What's square root 12 simplified? 2 radical 3. We've got I, 2 radical 3. If my students left it like that, I'm fine. I'll give you credit. I think it looks much better like this. It's entirely up to you. I had a student who said, could I place the I on the end if I wish? And if she wants to place that I on the end, she could. So it's all rearranged there. Guys, look at that strange answer. 2 plus or minus, this is 2i, radical 3. I'm using quadratic formula, all over 2. Now, can anyone tell me what that reduces down to?
1 plus minus.
1 plus or minus. Is it I? Radical 3. I think all these 2's sort of cancel. Is that true? Yeah. Guess what I've just done? We're looking for 6 zeros. We had 2 earlier. These were the easy ones. Now I've got 2 more. And one was 1 plus I radical 3, 1 minus I radical 3. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Jeez. Now may I close down? How many zeros are missing? I've still got 2 zeros missing. Where are they? And I may not have time to go through and find exactly what they look like. But there's 2 more zeros you got to find. So we'll account for all 6. two more missing? Does anyone see anything on the board here that might give me a hint where to go, do something to it, and try to find the last two zeros? Go for it.
X cubed minus 1.
Oh, you want to change this? Into what?
X cubed minus 1.
Love it, love it. Hang on. Guys, could I rewrite this? We got one earlier for the answer. Could I move that one over to actually think of it looking like that? And guess what that is? That's a difference of cubes, which requires a different formula. I know how I am. I like things completely done before we close down. I know, I see you right now, and those looks on your face are like, Professor, you have wiped us out tonight. And we still have a quiz. I don't know if I have enough energy to do a quiz. Okay, here goes. We'll finish it up. Can anyone tell me, based on what you see here, you saw the formula for the sum of two cubes. Now, I need this is a difference of cubes. Can anyone tell me what, based on this one, what this might look like for a difference of cubes? Compare it to the red one. That's just some minor differences. Go for it.
A minus B.
It's A minus B this time. Tell me more.
A squared
A squared plus now.
AB
Absolutely.
plus B squared.
Love it. That's the one for the difference. A few little minor changes from the one in red. So if I apply it, that formula there for a difference of cubes, to, let me go back and find where I am, to this. Guys, let's rewrite this in the red, and this will finish this up. This is x cubed, subtract 1 cubed. And we'll make it look exactly like we want it to look like this, so I can use the formula. Now, can anyone use that blue formula and tell me, you guys did a great job on the other one, what would this look like factored, where you start out with A subtract B? What would A subtract B be in this case, on the red? Help me out. Is it going to be x minus 1? And what would this now look like? A squared on this one would be what? Is that x squared, guys? It says what? Plus product A times B. Is that 1 times x? Is that 1x? And then plus on the end, b squared is 1 squared is 1. I've been doing this for a long time. And I look into a class, and I've had a class of 150, I think I had 150 in a calc class once. It's hard to look there. You can see all my students' expressions, but when I have classes maybe this size, oh, I can see those looks in your faces like, oh no. By the time he gives that quiz to me, I'll be thinking about cubes. Professor, this would be crazy. Now, if I do this, guys, if I finish up, I'm not going to finish up. You'd have to now split this up and set each one equal to 0. By the way, the first one's going to give you a 1. I think we had 1 earlier, didn't we? This one, you have to use quadratic formula on it like I did over there, and you will get the other 2 answers. The other 2 will also have i's in them. But you'll get the other 2 if you use quadratic formula on that. And therefore you have all 6 zeros. There's some students taking calculus couldn't do that. They couldn't find all 6 zeros. Okay, let's take a little effort. Now, I want to start the quiz around what, 7? I'm going to start now. So take a breath, put everything away. Now don't turn that quiz in until you know you have 100%. Don't turn it in.